Sutras Chapter. Welcome to my live session. I'm Pooja, and today I'm going to talk about. There was once long back, I think it was last year, I spoke about Yoga Sutras. I started speaking about the Yoga Sutras, and you know, today I'm gonna talk about chapter 1, Yoga Sutra 4, 5, 4 and 5, I think. I had spoken about Yoga Sutra 1, 2, 3 before, and this is Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, which is inspired from the Sankhya philosophy. And just to refresh the memory, because it's been a long time, who is this Mahi Rathod who wants to join me live? I hardly know you, Mahi Rathod. I don't know if you have any questions, you can please put it here and I will address the same. So as I was saying that Yoga Sutras are like, how we have Bhagavad Gita, a reference book for knowing how to keep our thoughts, our actions in alignment with the purpose of our life. It should not be just like you're just scrolling, waking up in the morning and scrolling on Instagram and scrolling on social media and just going through stuff without any goal, without any meaning, and just no track of time, no track of that it's cultivating all sorts of faulty habits. I've already said this, that excessive use of social media or any kind of pleasurable activities is going to spoil our habits, it's going to spoil our mindset. We should never take our subconscious mind for granted, because all that we are observing, we are viewing, we are listening is all getting stored in our subconscious mind. And we often tumble and we make mistakes because the mind is not focused. Now, that's the reason why, I'm sorry for the pause, that's the reason why we have to learn the Yoga Sutras, so that we can bring the focus back on where it's supposed to be, how it's that is going to be the secret of our peace and happiness, because the happiness quotient and the peace quotient is very, very crucial to lead a healthy life, a life which is free from blockages and barriers and impediments and unnecessary challenges that we keep on inviting. So if we keep ardent focus on our goal and achieving our goal and systematically work on it every single day, we will be a much happier version of ourselves. And for that we refer to these texts like Bhagavad Gita, Yoga Sutras, right? So coming now to the 4th sutra, let me refresh the memory first about the first 3 sutras. First sutra, chapter 1, Atha Yoga Anushasanam. Now we begin the discipline of yoga. Second sutra, chapter 1, Yoga's Chitta Vritti Nirodha, which means the goal of yoga is to control all the mental fluctuations, okay, and have complete mastery over the whole personality complex, which we loosely refer as the mind. And first sutra, as you understand, that now we begin the discipline of yoga. That's what it says, Atha Yoga Anushasanam, Yoga's Chitta Vritti Nirodha, which is the goal of yoga. Third sutra is Tada Drushte Sarupe Avasthanam, which is whatever basically our own reflection, okay, all that we are perceiving, all that we are experiencing is nothing but our own reflection. How do we understand that? Obviously, we will understand that when we follow Ashtanga yoga or any form of practice in yoga, like it could be bhakti yoga, it could be gyan yoga, it could be hatha yoga. Okay, any form of yoga that one is practicing, one needs to practice it to the also kriya yoga. So when you practice it very regularly and very, in a focused manner, in a disciplined manner, only then can you actually understand who you truly are and what is the meaning of tada drishte sarupe avasthanam, and how is everything our own reflection after all. Coming to the fourth sutra, vritti sarupyam itratra, which means there are mental fluctuations in the mind. So those mental fluctuations are something that we need to work on. And the fifth sutra says vrittaya panchataya klishtaha klishtaha. That means there are 5 kinds of vrittis which are painful and non-painful. Okay, so half of them are painful and half of them are non-painful. So there are 5 kinds of vrittis. What vrittis are this? So I'm going to tell you about the Sutra 6 as well. So I did not plan, but I have to mention this. So Sutra 6 is Praman Viparya Vikalpa Nidra Smriti. That is, Praman is the right knowledge, Viparya is the wrong knowledge, Praman Viparya Vikalpa is imagination, Nidra is sleep, and last one is Smriti, which is memory. Okay, these are the 5 types of vrittis. What are vrittis? Once again, vrittis are mental modifications or mental fluctuations, that which is constantly keeping us restless, not helping us to focus, not helping us to stay consistent. It drives us crazy. We do crazy stuff, we act crazy, we talk crazy, we do random things. There is no perfect planning. There is, all the schedule, all the time, efforts goes haywire, all goes in waste. We get frustrated, we get annoyed day in and day out. We keep on repeating the same pattern rather than bringing regularity and discipline, which is what the yoga is for. So a very important thing that I actually came here to say, actually it's not just one thing, there are 2 things. It was obviously about the Yoga Sutras, and I would love to, as much as I would love to get into the depth of it, I have made this clear in videos long back before. I have been making Instagram videos for a very long time now, many years it's my duty to remind the audience once again. I don't care any amount of audience, my followers are apparently decreasing. It really does not bother me. What makes a difference is whoever is watching, whoever is following, if is understanding, even 1% is understanding out of 100%, then my job is done, and I am satisfied. So the whole point is, yoga is not calisthenics, yoga is not gymnastics, yoga is not an alternative form of physical exercise, yoga is not alternative form of Pilates or aerobics or anything. Please understand that. And yoga is definitely not for the people who are physically ill. Okay, yoga is not cure. Yoga is prevention, not cure. You do not join a yoga class, you do not enroll for a yoga class when you have diabetes, when you have heart problem or blood pressure or vertigo or depression or any kind of problem. You do not go to yoga class to get a cure for that. That is not what yoga is for. Yoga is not for unhealthy individuals. Let me be very blatant, let me be very clear, as brutal as it can get to anyone to understand this. It's not brutal, again it depends on the perception, but you have to understand yoga helps you to prevent getting in trouble. It does not tell you that when you have done the damage, come and do yoga. That's not the reason why you practice yoga, because then it is more about profit and loss scenario for you. because you are enrolling into something only if you see a profit in it. You're not doing something because you're supposed to be doing it. Yoga is supposed to be done, just like you're supposed to brush teeth in the morning, just like you're supposed to have a specific schedule. You're supposed to wake up at a specific time in the morning and follow your personal hygiene, then do your regular work and activities, because you live in a house, so you have all the responsibilities and duties connected with the house and the people living with you. So you have to focus on all of those things. And if you do not follow all of that, that means, it's like you're not living life in a proper way. Okay, you're living life in a dysfunctional way. So you should not repeat these habits and follow these kind of patterns, because it's going to be proving unhealthy for your mind, for your system, for your soul in the longer run. So you should avoid doing all those things. You should avoid getting into the loss and profit scenario, which is what is happening in the commercial world these days. Everything that we are doing, we always analyze whether we are going to profit out of this or we're going to lose out of this. And many people come up to me, and a lot of people on Instagram, a lot of people who keep asking me free tips for weight loss and stuff like that. I just don't like to entertain them. I just don't like to give answers to these questions. They are so, it's like hitting below the belt, that kind of questions. Because if you understand yoga, still being an Indian, if you still do not have any idea as to what yoga has to offer you, okay, yoga is supposed to be a lifestyle management regime. It's a routine. It teaches you how to behave like a proper human. It teaches you how to live life like a proper human and not on animal instinct. You're not animal. We're not animals. We're not supposed to be living on instinct. We're not supposed to be craving for pleasures all the time. If you remember, one of the verses of Bhagavad Gita is Karmande Vadikaraste Ma Phaleshu Kadachana, which means Karm Kar Phal Ki Ichha Mat Kar. Do your job, do your duty, put your efforts, don't expect the outcome, don't sit expecting the result, whether this will happen, that will happen, how will it happen, only if I get this, will I do this or not. If you get into this rut, then you're going to keep getting slapped from universe day in and day out. If you are not done with your slap, then all your life and how many ever births you take, you will keep getting slapped from the universe, because universe is only trying to tell you that you have to realize your own power, stand up for your own self, and do your job, not because you want to become famous, not because you want to chase material success, because you have to prove your worth, and you have to explore your potential and be the best of your, explore the maximum of your potential, and reach somewhere at a higher pedestal where your soul and your mind and your bodies all in sync with one another, because yoga is union of body, mind and soul. Okay, you cannot have these things, your body is doing something else, your mind is doing something else, and your soul is feeling something else. It cannot be disintegrated. And yoga is again balanced state of mind, so you have to learn to balance between both the worlds, the material world and the spiritual world. Okay, you cannot be too idealistic, you cannot be too any kind of vices or virtues cannot go in extreme. You have to maintain and strike a balance, maintain your sanity. Okay, how you love yourself and you love others, that balance has to be maintained. Sometimes when we fall in love with someone else, we lose the balance and we stop loving ourselves. That is something dangerous for your health, for your mind, for everything possible. So you have to learn how to maintain that balance. Yoga also talks about mindfulness, being very mindful and aware about every single detail of whatever you do, whatever you consume, whatever you plan. You have to be very, very careful in each and every activity, what you are saying, what you are thinking, what you are doing. It's all reflecting back at you. Okay, it is not coming from outside. Nobody else is punishing you, nobody else is conspiring against you, no one is your enemy. It is we, me. All that is happening to me is my own reflection. All right, I need to be centered, I need to be focused on what I'm thinking, how I'm thinking, what I'm doing, how I'm doing, all this is going to impact and bring it back to me in my future. Another thing that I need to quickly say is I have made it clear that yoga is prevention. Don't get into the loss and profit thing. A lot of people think that they don't need yoga. They don't even know what yoga has to offer. That is the reason why they think that they don't need yoga. Yoga is meant for absolutely fit individuals. It's not meant for people who are ill and have serious illnesses and sickness and unhealthy people. All right, you first have to rectify your health and then practice yoga. Only then will you reach to the top level of Ashtanga yoga or Hatha yoga or Kriya yoga or Bhakti yoga or Gyan yoga. All right, you can't reach up on the hierarchy if you are not a healthy individual. So get it very clear. Yoga is meant for healthy individuals. It's not meant for unhealthy individuals. It's not for cure. Yoga is not cure for weight and weight gaining and weight losing and all those kind of things. All right, that if I do meditation I will become younger and I will become beautiful. All that is rubbish. Take it out of your head. Don't get into it. Don't buy these kind of things. These things are the ones that are spoiling our habits and our personality in the long run. It's making our mind weaker, and if you choose to be weaker, then you have to pay its cost yourself. Okay, no one else is going to pay its price. Only you is going to pay its price. And lastly, as I said, that Yoga Sutra 4, 5 and 6 talks about the vrittis, the mental fluctuations. If we understand these mental fluctuations, we will be able to control all the restlessness inside us and bring more focus in our lives and lead a more peaceful life. So next session is going to be more elaborate on these 5 types of vrittis. I'm signing off now. Thank you so much for your valuable time. You take good care of yourselves and stay happy with your family, stay safe, and please practice good habits. And I wish you all the very best. Good night. Shivratri. Namaste.